Liberal leader Justin Trudeau was in Toronto for the release of his party's election platform. The fully costed plan sets out $78 billion in new spending over the next 5 years. The platform promises to pay for that new spending in part with $25 billion in tax hikes, including a 15% tax on high-income earners and higher taxes on large corporations. The current budget deficit of $157 billion would drop to $32 billion over the next 5 years under the Liberal plan, but there's no timetable for balancing the budget.
We are demonstrating that we continue on our responsible choice of investing in things that will grow our economy, investing in the fight against climate change, investing in childcare, because we know that that sets us on a path of growth. Aaron O'Toole can say whatever he wants. If he doesn't show the numbers, why should Canadians believe him? He's relying on a level of magical thinking that involves 3% growth every single year.
Most big spending promises on childcare, healthcare, housing and pandemic supports have already been announced. New measures include $1 billion for provinces to implement a ban on handguns. And a re-elected Liberal government would establish new regulations to force all provinces to make abortions available. The Liberals would also strip charity status from some anti-abortion organizations that provide dishonest counseling to women about their rights.
Canada is a country where we stand up for women's rights, and I will not allow others to limit those rights.
NDP leader Jagmeet Singh campaigned in Montreal in a riding held by the Liberals. Singh once again focused on his party's housing promises. He's proposing to use available federal lands for affordable housing projects.
We believe that federal land should be used towards investing in opportunities to fight the housing crisis, to build affordable homes so that people can find something that's in their budget, a place to call home. That's our priority.
Singh also took aim at the promises in the Liberal Party platform unveiled today.
I want to remind folks, the Liberals have taken this strategy again and again. Why deliver on things when you can just campaign on it anyways? Why get things done when we can just promise it?
Conservative leader Aaron O'Toole was in Ottawa again today, pitching his party's plan to fund big projects. O'Toole promises to shut down the Federal Infrastructure Bank and to ease the requirements for federal financing.
Unlike the Liberals, we won't condition funding so narrowly to whether the project can be described as green infrastructure. We will ensure infrastructure funding maximizes our economic recovery. That means targeting funding to projects that strengthen transit and trade, reduce congestion and gridlock, and advance economic reconciliation with First Nations.
The Conservative leader defended his campaign platform and promised to provide costing once the plan's been reviewed by the Parliamentary Budget Officer. And he also slammed the Liberal plan unveiled today.
So we're going to create jobs and opportunity, build infrastructure that Mr. Trudeau announces but never gets built, and have a detailed plan and a disciplined plan to get spending under control to balance the budget over the course of 10 years.
Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet campaigned in Montreal, where he spoke about the Bloc's defense of the French language and called on other party leaders to have Quebec's language law apply to federal workplaces.
Canada has its own culture, its own language, its own values, and they often tend to be different from the values that we do share in Quebec. Our language is French. We do not believe in multiculturalism, and we believe that we should not be, as a nation, submitted to laws which go not against what we do, but against what we are.
And Green Party leader Annamie Paul remains in Toronto, where she's campaigning for a seat in Parliament. Paul says the Green Party favors the decriminalization of all illicit drugs.
Safe supply, safe injection sites, access to mental health services, access to community supportive housing, access to drug treatment. All of these things must go hand in hand. All of these things have been underinvested in. All of these things need to be part of the solution.
And that's the kind of day it's been, day 18 of the campaign.